Your favorite rock sound of the 80s? How do you
Of the 80s, well, a lot.
Your favorite Billy Idol rock sound? What do you use for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been this amplifier is loosely based on the original Marshall that I used for most of the recordings in the 80s. So it really hasn't changed that much, you know. It's still very much, Marshall based, a little bit more controllable, a little bit more hi-fi. But I've always, in my head, I've always heard the same kind of guitar sound, which is very percussive, very well defined, and with a lot of dynamics, to me and that usually comes from driving the output stage of the amplifier. That's where you get a lot of your natural compression and things, because I'm always looking for very sharp, defined edges in my guitar sound. That's always been my thing. So, it's just, you hear it up here first, and then you go to the ends of the earth to find how to create the sound that you hear in your head. But obviously it has to be harmonically rich and able to play chords clearly that maybe some other amplifiers that I've tried in the past don't always convey that. They don't carry the kind of harmonic content that, for me, an amp like this does. But there's a certain. I'm very much a guitar player based in 70s guitar players. Though that, although I made my career in the 80s, all of my training and all of my influences came from the 70s and some from the 60s. But I got my first electric guitar when I was 13, and that was, around the time of like Led Zeppelin 4, and a lot of Steve Howe from Yes was a huge influence on me. Although I don't have a style like his, but he was a guitar player that played so many different styles, from classical to jazz to psychedelic or everything. But what I loved about Steve is you could tell every note he played. He did it by not having distortion. And to me, I always strove for a guitar sound that has distortion but still very well defined. So if I people wouldn't, it wouldn't think of Steve Howe or something like that, but I'm always hearing these kind of very well-defined things, and obviously with chords. Those are things that would sound great on an acoustic guitar, and for me, if I don't have an amplifier that can also translate that, it's a problem for me. But also, I go for like very classic things, Hendrix, or still, even though I'm a single cutaway style guitar player, I look for so I can, pretty much go from the, Billy Idol thing to that kind of classic. It's a bit of Led Zeppelin meets punk rock, really, But I can easily go with the use of, a bit of delay and a vibe pedal to something that sounds like, Jimi Hendrix or Robin Trower or something. It's just how you hear them in your head, I think, You can interpret that however you want. Oh, wow. Wow, I was playing, 10-year-old. Wow.